Hello, I'm Tim Beggins, president of L Trading Company. In this, the natural gas weekly recap, natural gas prices are strongly higher, with more cold on the forecast models, sending the natural gas January spot contract up to 536.80, up 30 cents and a half, up 6%. And as you can see here, we're well above the 13 and 48 exponential moving averages, and the RSI is turned higher again. We're looking very carefully to see what happens next, but we're going to talk about the options market because the highest open interest for the options for January, $6. And if this keeps up, we may get there. So let's take a look at the hourly chart here on barchart.com for the spot January contract. And as you can see, we're well above the daily pivot, which came in at 5.008. We're testing second resistance here at 536.40. So what's our high today? 536.70. So we've pushed out to this first and second resistance levels. The RSI is in overbought condition, and we've got a double index roll. What does that mean? Two of the energy ETFs are rolling out of January and into the March contract, well ahead of expiration, which is in another couple weeks. But as you can see, we're going to test possibly this $6 strike. This is on barchart.com. This is the European style options for the spot January contract. And as you can see, this has got the highest open interest, 42,700. Volume yesterday was 44.35, which means we're going possibly to test this number in a few days if the weather forecasts continue to show extreme cold. What happened yesterday with the storage report? Well, it was minus 12. And as you can see, 16 BCF was added to storage in the South Central. That's here around Houston. And why? Because they were getting ready to load up for the cold. And so they're ready to sell gas into the spot market. Let's take a look at the TTF contract here. This is the tidal transfer facility. This is the European marker for LNG. And look what it's doing. New low. This is a low from even before February 26, 2024. And that means that the economics for LNG, US economics to send LNG over to Europe are starting to fail. So be careful here. Even though storage in the EU is sitting at 73.8%, or about 12% below the 5-year average, with Germany down to 65.6%, it looks like that warmer temperature that's coming into Europe is really going to slow down cargoes going into that space. And here is the JKM, the Japan-Korea marker, and it's also testing near its low from back in 2024, again, around the same time, February 15th. And that also means, well, we don't know what we're going to do with LNG cargoes, at least the spot cargoes going forward. If this keeps up with the strong prices in the US, some of those cargoes may stay home. The 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, of course, this is La Nina conditions, and it's below normal across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Mid-Atlantic, and New England states, with above normal temperatures in the desert Southwest. And here's the GFS model run for the 6Z. That was at 6 a.m. That's what that means. 6Z is 6 a.m. And this is the GFS with the Global Forecasting System model. And look at the temperature anomalies. This is well below normal around December the 17th, centered right on Tennessee. And it includes Texas. Basically, the 2/3 of the country, the eastern 2/3, is going to be below normal and that particular day. What about Europe? Warm. And it's going to stay warm all the way through the forecast period here through December the 20th. That's why the TTF price is continuing to fall. What about Asia? Well, we've got some weather here today in Japan and the Koreas, but looking further out on the model, it's just kind of normal. So this may also put more pressure on that JKM marker, which you can see. And how about the nuclear fleet in the US? Well, it's trying to turn the machines back on quickly. We've only got one nuclear power plant, that's Palisades up in Michigan, that is actually fully down. We've got two that are about 50%, and a few others between about 5% and 16.3%. but the rest of the fleet is up and running. We're down right now currently to 3.9 gigawatts are offline, trying to get ready for this blistering cold. And what about the Arctic? Well, the Bering Straits have completely frozen over, and this is the one we're really watching, Hudson Bay. The northern approaches and the western coast are starting to ice over. Once that further eastern portion of that northern passage freezes over, that body of water will continue to form ice across it and allow even more cold air to come directly into the eastern seaboard of the United States. How about the oil and gas E&P sector? These are stocks between $2 and $10 billion, have a high short float over 10%. And this is the 1 week performance. And as you can see right now, our winner so far, Northern Oil and Gas up 14.22%. And the natural gas stock, CNX, up 6.8, but CRK only up 3.98%. Why? Because it took some losses earlier in the week. So recapping again, for the spot January natural gas contract, we're currently trading at 536.10, 535.80, up 29.5 cents, or a little bit below 6%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.